Yo, 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 it's the big motherfucking baby. And I'm back, baby. And I think I'm gonna do a sports podcast, but before I get to that, so we just recorded the first episode of BSN in Bahrain. I think that's the title we're gonna go with the artist formerly known as DJ Lightskin and the president, aka El Presidente. Shout out to my guys. So that's already up. So make sure you go to Buzzsprout, Spotify, and check those out. You can go to Instagram, Twitter, link in bio. But it's just an hour. It's a good time, man. Let me see. What else do we talk about in there? We just be bullshit and we start talking about women, mainly women in relationships, race. It kind of gets deep for a little while. I kind of talk about the 3-woman theory, which is something I'm actually gonna kind of expound upon today. And I don't really remember what else, but it's the first episode. We're gonna try to get an episode off once a week of that, and that's gonna kind of be our new thing. Other things to look out for, we got some merch coming soon, about to debut the new logo and the new website. I'll let y'all know once all that stuff is ready. Be on the lookout for that. Also, actually gonna start recording the podcast and being able to put out a full, video for you on YouTube so you can kind of watch and see what the setup is like and, enjoy a lot of baby shit. So anyways, I don't know if I want to do sports or if I want to just talk some shit. So I'm going to start off with sports, and then we're going to roll into some shit talking. So back to the sports thing. So I used to do a lot of sports, and then I stopped because I felt like I was getting pigeonholed, even though, I don't know. I just felt like I was getting pigeonholed because people were like, oh, yeah, you do the sports thing. And it's like, yeah, technically right now I'm doing the sports thing, but I am not like a sports guy. I don't have the interest in, reading nothing but sports, listening to nothing but sports, and actually starting to break stuff down and to be like really smart on sports. So I've kind of gotten to where, I still follow sports very closely. I still listen to a lot of sports stuff, don't get me wrong. But I care about the surface level, national type stuff because at the end of the day, there's so many hours in a day, having a full job, there's only so much that I can consume within a 24-hour time frame. So I do the best that I can. But this was a very, very interesting sports weekend, to say the least. We had a good Thursday night game with Tom Brady throwing his 500th touchdown and covering. Patriots did cover. They were 10-point favorites and they covered. Yes, they did do that. They put a little money in my pocket. Shout out to the Patriots for that. And we kind of saw Julian Edelman come back, which was nice for the Patriots. Their offense is getting back to where it needs to be. They're climbing up to the top of the division when everybody was like, oh my God, what's going to happen to the Patriots? Come on, man. They start out slow every other year. It's nothing new. Bill Belichick is tinkering with things, just trying to get everything figured out. To understand how he can work with certain people in certain spots. Their defense is still very suspect, but in today's NFL, it's not really important to have the greatest defense because defense is overrated. And with the rules, as long as you got an offense that can put up 30 points a game, I think that you will be fine, especially if your defense can step up big in big spots, which I think the Patriots defense will be able to do because even with the great game that Nick Foles had in the Super Bowl, they still had a chance. Also, Flash Gordon got in the end zone. That was a nice catch he made for Brady's 500th touchdown. I think that's going to be something we're going to see coming up soon this season. A lot of deep balls to Flash from Tom Brady. Kind of some of the Randy Moss-esque things. Not that I'm saying Flash is Randy Moss because he's not. But it's something that we haven't seen from the Patriots in a while. A nice athletic, true wide receiver, a true number one receiver that they have, especially with the demise of Gronk. Yeah, then we had Saturday we had the McGregor-Khabib fight, and that was a pretty good fight, I guess. I don't know, I didn't really watch it. I know I lost money. McGregor lost, I think the fourth round by submission. He got his ass choked out, but what ensued after is what I think was crazy. Was Khabib hopped the fence to go holler at Conor's homeboys? Buddies hopped the octagon to go piece up Conor. Thank God that those guys did get arrested because that is totally unnecessary. So I'm gonna look at this from 2 points of view. I thought it was pretty despicable what happened, and I think that Khabib should be fined and suspended for an extended period of time for his actions. And the guys who were involved that came over into the octagon, they should also be suspended, if not banned from the UFC, because it's. I mean, I get it. It's fighting, but at the same time, you have to have a certain level of temperament, and you have to allow. And you have to make sure you have a safe environment. There are people there who are trying to go back into the casino and enjoy the rest of their time in Vegas. And for all we know, a riot could have ensued. Chairs could have gotten to flying and all of that stuff, man. And that's not a good look overall. But I think it was great for the UFC because it definitely builds buzz. It definitely builds up the fight number 2. And that's the momentum that the UFC can take and run with because honestly, since Conor been laying low and Bones Jones has been suspended, the UFC has been pretty boring, to say the least. Conor has definitely brought back his swagger and its flair and its ringing throughout the entire UFC. So I know Dana White's going to come out and he's going to act like he cares and talk about how bad this is and how he's going to deal with these people. But he knows what the fuck is going on. He's definitely going to make sure he's going to ride this wave and capitalize with it, as any smart businessman would. But Conor's a goddamn fool for coming back and fighting Khabib in his first fight. He definitely should have gotten a tune-up fight. Like, dog, you've been out of the octagon for 2 years. It's been a year since you boxed Floyd, and you're a 100 millionaire now. I don't think coming back and fighting arguably the best fighter in the UFC was a smart thing to do for your first fight. And, you know, Conor has this superstardom because of all of the shit that he talks. He did sign up for like a 6-fight deal with the UFC, but he's lost 3 of his last 4 fights. Obviously, one was a boxing match. If he continues losing, we're not going to care what he has to say. It's going to take away from the tough Irishman that is Conor McGregor. You know, I did, hold on. Let's see if I can pull this up. I did a funny ass McGregor little rant type deal last year when he got his ass whooped by Floyd. Goodness gracious, I post entirely too much on Instagram. Can't never find what the hell I'm looking for. Let's see. Here we go.
The baby told y'all. I told y'all Floyd was gonna whoop Conor's motherfucking ass. I said TKO in 8. But you know what? Floyd got the win, and he went for the TKO in 10. But either way, he got the TKO. I told y'all Conor motherfucking ass wasn't gonna prance in the boxing and win. Ain't nobody beat Floyd Money Mayweather. So why you think Conor McGregor was gonna do it? He couldn't stand the weather. That hurricane hit him. And it knocked him out, technically. Back to Ireland. Hope that potato famine don't come around and get on your ass, Conor. Bitch!
Now, I'd obviously not say any of that to his face because you're an Irishman. He might knock me out in good time, huh? Yeah, fuck him. Happy he got his motherfucking ass whooped. Cause see, as a shit talker, you have to understand what comes with shit talking. When you get your motherfucking ass whooped, it's gonna be even worse because you talked all that shit. But that's not my real beef with Conor. I just think he talks too much goddamn shit. He be fucking disrespectful, and everybody talks about, oh yeah, he's a great trash talker. That shit don't make me laugh. It's like, bruh, shut the fuck up. I can barely understand all that shit you're saying anyways, man. Me mate, yeah, we go to Russia and we go to walk through the court and man, you got your motherfucking ass whooped by the Russian wonder. Told y'all you don't go to Russia and fight nobody. You gonna lose. You see what the fuck happened to you, Conor McGregor? You went to Russia, you fought, you lost. More importantly, fuck Conor McGregor because I goddamn gambled with him and I thought this motherfucker was gonna make me some money. But no, Conor, you wanna prance around in there and get your ass tapped the fuck out. Hold on one second, I gotta respond to a group text. Oh, but what I also forgot, I'm done talking about that fight. Shout out to cousin Sal. I took his great advice and I parlayed the Air Force Academy with Mississippi State, and they both won. So I'm up for the weekend. Yeah, I had a decent gambling weekend. It's not my best, but we had a positive weekend. So let's roll into Sunday. Oh, hold on. Let me take a break. My group text is going crazy. All right, on to the NFL day. Let's start off with my Falcons, who I'm a fan of. Go Bird. Bird gang. Rise up. And we lost. Terribly, like 41-17. Like, where the hell was the offense? Matt Ryan's numbers look decent. Julio still hasn't gotten in the end zone. Sark. I'm not calling for your job because you played all right, but Sark. But I'm kind of chalking this Falcon season up because we have absolutely no defense. We're decimated. We lost 2 Pro Bowl players on defense. Our Pro Bowl running back just got back. We also lost our starting safety, Ricardo Allen. Tack McKinley had been hurt, but he just came back. I mean, we are decimated right now. And I'm not saying the injuries are an excuse, but they are the reason that we are not playing as well as we should. Our defense has never been great, but they've played well with leads because we've had Deion Jones, who could fly around and get to the ball, Keanu Neal, who could do the same. And our pass rushers will let their ears back and go attack the quarterback. We're not getting those opportunities right now because we're getting in these back and forth games and we're not playing with a lead. So I say we can just tank and get a top 10 pick because once the organization decided not to try to get Eric Reed or sign any other free agents to fill the void, we just started players who are not ready to start on the NFL roster. And when that happens, they generally don't play well enough to win. And you get your asses torched. Fuck you, Jew. Just throwing that out there. He's my guy. He's a Pittsburgh Steelers fan. Shout out to Pie, real Falcons fan. Anyway, let's see what else is going on. Oh, yeah, White. McGregor wants immediate rematch. Conor, you just lost. Take some time away. Let's see what else. Oh, Jerry Jones is talking about he was upset with Jason Garrett for not going forward in overtime on 4th and 1, at like midfield. I guess you don't have arguably the best running back and one of the top offensive lines in the league. You pride yourself on having an offensive line and a great running back, but you actually punt it away on 4th and 1 and then you lose the fucking game. It's goddamn overtime, Jason Clapperman Garrett. What the hell else do you think is going to happen? Hey, look. I'm not one to call for someone to lose their job, but Jason Garrett needs to be fired immediately. Immediately. He's an offensive in quotes, minded head coach, but his offense is vanilla at best. He's running the fucking Jeff Fisher offense out there. I mean, Dez Bryant said that they line up in the same place every time. They run the same damn sets. They don't run a lot of RPOs. There's not a lot of motion, no like diversion or none of that stuff. It's like, we're going to ground and pound. Bro, you can't ground and pound no more. They don't have any receivers, so you would think if they didn't have decent receivers, they would scheme the guys open, right? Some of the stuff you see McVay doing, some of the stuff you see Andy Reid doing, some of the stuff you see Frank Reich doing up in and for the Colts, some of the stuff you see the Eagles doing. Like, again, these teams may have better receivers, not the Colts, but they scheme their players open. Dallas does not do that. They run the most predictable and vanilla offense I've seen in the NFL in this generation. In this era that we are currently in, they have the most vanilla bullshit offense that I have witnessed. And it is absolutely beyond me why they're running that shit. But again, what do I know? I'm just a big motherfucking baby. I think Jerry Jones needs to put the bottle down and let his third son go. Jason Garrett, I know you were a great backup here at Dallas. You were great a great coordinator for us, but you're not a great head coach. And his record is deceiving because he is close to 500 because he had a bunch of 500 seasons, but those teams underachieved. He had the one bad season, then he's had like 2 good seasons. But for the amount of talent that the Cowboys have had over the last 10 years, Jason Garrett has just he's not changed with football, and Dallas needs some new young minds in there because they are going nowhere. And what's going to end up happening is that line's going to get old. They're going to have to pay Zeke. They're either going to have to pay Dak or let him go. And letting him go, Dak's not playing great, but bringing in a new quarterback with these lack of weapons and this vanilla-ass system, I don't see many rookies elevating them that much more. And then you lose Zeke in his prime, and you have not capitalized on a Super Bowl opportunity because there are definitely 2 seasons where Garrett could have got him there. Boy, I was going 1,000 miles per hour. He could have got him there, and he didn't. And now he's really showing without the weapons, without Dez, without Witten. I don't know if anybody else was really a weapon. He's really showing his true colors, and he's a shitty coach. Believe it or not, Tony Romo was a Band-Aid for an otherwise shitty coach. And boy, the kicking chronicles continue. This has not been a year for the kickers. Kickers have been piss poor to put it at best this season. So let's see. The Packers are down like 24-0 at half. Ended up losing 23-31. Aaron bleeping Rodgers went 32 of 52 for 442 and 3 tubs. This Aaron Jones, I think his name, he can run that goddamn rock. Golly, Matt Stafford was piss poor. 14 of 26 for 183 yards. Now Aaron Rodgers did have, I want to say 2 fumbles. Yeah, he had 2 lost fumbles. Green Bay had 3 turnovers, so that was a big reason why they lost. But more importantly, man, the kicking game was terrible. Freaking Mason Crosby was goddamn fucking terrible. Fucking embarrassing. Let me tell you, he was 1 for 5 for field goals. 1 for fucking 5. Now, Mason Crosby has been a pretty good kicker for the Packers over the last years, as long as he's been there. I don't know how many fucking years it is. I'm not looking that shit up. But he's been a damn good kicker. But for him to go out there and fucking piss down his legs, shit the bed, 1 for 5, and you lose by 8, that's just totally unacceptable. And not to mention he missed the extra point. 1 for fucking, 20%? Like, dog, you have one job. These players out there busting their heads, risking CTE and concussions every fucking play, trying to get this dub. And it's a division game, and dog, you go 1 for 5 for field goal. I wouldn't want to see him after the game. I ain't gonna lie to you. I wasn't the best teammate when I was an athlete, and we probably wouldn't. I wouldn't have had anything nice to say to him, so I just would have said, "Hey, keep me away from him. I'm gonna go do my own thing because if goddamn Crosby's in my face, I'm gonna have a word or 2 for him that he's probably not gonna like. Because damn, 4 field goals, that's 12 points. 1 extra point, that's 1 point. Like, dog, you left 13 points on the field. That's almost 2 touchdowns. I get it. Some field goals don't get made, but dog, if you just would have went 3 for 5, that's 9 points. 3 for 5, that's 6 more points. Oh, you make your extra point, that's 7 points. You know what I'm saying? Like, if you went 4 for 5, 80%, you win the fucking game, kicker. You had one job. But it is what it is. Also, the kicker showed his ugly head in the Ravens-Browns game. Granted, this kicker ended up kicking the overtime, a field goal in overtime to win the game, but the Browns won 12-9. That's pretty freaking ugly. Baker Mayfield, 25 for 43 for 342. So that bad boy's flinging that thing around there. He got sacked 5 times and threw a pick. Only had 1 tub. But Baker's definitely showing that he deserved to be the number 1 overall pick. I'm not saying that he's better than Sam Darnold. I don't know yet, but based on this short freaking the short sample size, small sample size, it's looking like he was, even though he does have way more electric freaking what's those things? Weapons than Darnold. So good for Baker, and he didn't fumble the ball today. But let me see the kicking game. Yeah, Cleveland's kicker, he missed a field goal and an extra point, man. These kickers gotta stop missing these damn extra points. Like, come on, man, that's free money. Coaches, you might need to start going for 2. Because these motherfuckers are missing extra points. But that could have been the difference in the Browns losing another game, or excuse me, not winning another game, going into overtime and running the risk of having 2 ties. Now, fortunately, Mr. Joseph came in and he kicked the game winner in overtime, so they were able to beat their division opponent, the Baltimore Ravens, and the Browns are above 500, 2-1. Yes, they are. This is, and it could have been 3-2, 4-1. Some could say 5-0. Like, the Browns have a pretty good team, and Baker Moneymakers definitely came in and turned them around. I was rooting for Tyrod just because he's a black quarterback and I'm black, and I didn't want to see a black man lose his job. But now that Baker's in, he's brought a spark to that offense. He has that it factor that a lot of people like, and he's rallying the troops. He got them boys playing. Baker got them boys playing. Well, I'm gonna tell you, he got them boys looking good, real goddamn good. See, is there any other football games I want to talk about? Let's see. I don't care about the Titans and the Bills. Broncos, Jets. Shout out to the Jets for their explosive run game. Sam Darnold was 10 of 22 for a $198 and 3 tubs and a pick. But Isaiah Crowell had 219 yards on 15 carries, which just lets me know Denver's defense was terrible. They were obviously riding high off of their fucking victory. It was not their victory, off their moral victory against Pat Mahomes and Kansas City, because they let the fucking Jets gash the hell out of them. But I bet the Jets. So, again, I'm a happy man because the Jets won. And we did have a winning week gambling. So, shout out to the people whose takes that I steal because they got me paid. The Jaguars-Chiefs game was pretty interesting. It was 30-14. It was 30-7 for a good portion of the game. The score is a lot uglier than what the game was, because my man Blake Bortles, for one, lit them up for 400 fucking yards. Sorry, Blake Bortles should never, ever throw for 400 yards on anybody. But he did throw 4 picks, and he lost a fumble. So Blake Bortles had a total of 5 turnovers against a shitty defense. And, you know, that makes me want to talk about the Jaguars. I told people this season that I didn't expect the Jaguars to win their division. What? The Jaguars? I'm like, for one, they didn't do well against division opponents last year. They bring back Blake Bortles, and I was expecting the Colts to be a little bit better than they are, which they still don't look terrible. And I was really expecting the Texans to be a lot better. But along with Jason Garrett, whose job I called for, Bill O'Brien, yeah, my friend, you're in the same fucking seat. I don't really think you need the job that you have because you are fucking terrible. Excuse me. Getting sleepy. But the Jaguars, man, they, in this era, I don't know if you can win those slug-it-out games and rely on your defense, but they have no explosion on offense. I mean, yeah, they had 400 yards in the air, but they only equated to 14 points, so those are empty stats, and they were playing from behind for so long, so obviously Kansas City adjusts their defensive philosophy to not lose. But I just can't put my hopes and dreams in Blake Bortles, and they re-signed him. Like, they definitely could have made a move for a veteran quarterback. They have enough talent on their team to where they could have let one of their good defensive players go just to get a player that they need. But I don't run a team. I don't know. I'm just saying, Tom Coughlin, you need to put the bottle down and goddamn get you a new quarterback. And now Patty Mahomes, he's lighting up the league. Lighting them up, baby. Future MVP, the next Brett Favre, Dan Marino, John Elway. We've never seen anything like this. Whoa. Let's pump the brakes, talking football heads. I think the guy's immensely talented. He has a cannon. He can fling that bitch. He's athletic. He's mobile. He's not always looking to run, but he can run when he has to. He wants to throw the ball. But let's not forget that he's surrounded by weapons. He has Andy Reid, who is a great play scripter, play creator, play caller, terrible game manager. And it's the beginning of the season. There's not much film on him. There's not much film on him in those parts because obviously what they did with Alex Smith is totally different from what they're doing with Patrick Mahomes. Even though Alex did air the ball out last year more than any other quarterback in the league, he wasn't flinging that bitch like Patty Mahomes. So let's just give it some time and not overreact on it. And I mean, look at what Dak did his rookie year. He was an MVP candidate, and now look at him. He can barely throw for 200 yards. So let's just pump the brakes and let's give this man some time. Let's give him 3 years to prove to us that he can do this year in and year out, because a lot of quarterbacks have had great seasons. A lot of quarterbacks have had great runs. I mean, for God's sake, Ryan Fitzpatrick was the first quarterback in NFL history to throw for 3 straight 400-yard games. And in game 4, he got fucking benched at halftime. Deservedly so, but I'm just saying, let's be patient. All right, next game. Feels kind of good to talk about sports again. Giants and Panthers. Oh, man. So I'm actually going to pull up this Odell Beckham interview that kind of has the internet going crazy. Because that's kind of been the talk of the Giants, because we all see the Giants are like 1-4. They've definitely been struggling. And Odell Beckham had like a pretty nice, I guess it was nice, a nice take on it. So it's just a short 6-minute interview. We're not gonna listen to the whole thing. Well, we might.
Probably the NFL, it's different than college. When we left practice in college, you're going to get some.
Oh yeah, so he starts off and he's talking about like the difference between the NFL and college, and how, I guess he wants to bomb his teammates after college, after practices and stuff like that, because he's so used to chilling with the guys and stuff, because that's how it was in college. You practice, you chill, and you go back, play the game and all that stuff together. But man, it's the NFL, man. It's grown ass men who have families and stuff. So it's much harder to do stuff like that. But what this is kind of telling me is the Giants aren't a team, right? You remember last year they had the locker room issues on the defense, and it appeared that they were there was a mutiny with the coaches, but they brought most of these players back. Like Eli Apple, who's apparently like one of the big locker room issues, they brought him back. But what I think Odell is saying is, though, they're just not a united front. And when you have a team that's not united, that is definitely problematic for their long-term success and future. Again, they don't have to be buddy-buddy, but at the same time, they should be a cohesive unit that works together and does spend some off time together, because that's important. So then Odell talks about some other things. He gets into like a lack of passion and how he's so openly passionate, but he's caught in so much hell for that shit. He's caught so much hell for that shit that he's just trying to hold it all in, hold it back, just so that people shut the hell up, essentially. That's what I believe. But he struggles with it because he feels like he's not being Odell Beckham Jr. when he does that. And I'll say this. You have to find that balance of being a passionate individual, but having a certain level of temperament. Man, you're getting paid $95 million to play football. You need to have a little bit of self-control, some discipline, so that when you do get upset, it doesn't all come out. And but we get you're a passionate guy, and other people may not show their passion like you, Odell, so you have to understand that. Next, I'm not going to say next. I'm just going to go through the topics off the top of my head. He talks about how he doesn't feel like he gets the same opportunities that the other wide receivers in the league get. Like, he doesn't get the 20 targets a game. He doesn't get the deep balls. He's always expected to take short routes and get up the field. He was like, yeah, it's not that I don't like that, but I would like it. I would like the easy opportunities to get touchdowns too. So, what the fuck you want me to say? Your offensive line is god-awful, and your franchise didn't invest into the offensive line like they should have. They got Nate Solder, who's more of a run blocker, and it's been progressively getting worse. The Patriots didn't want to pay him, then y'all overpaid him. Then you draft a rookie, and you keep Eric Flowers on your team, and just so the people know, Eric Flowers may be one of the worst draft picks ever because he can't play. He's freaking awful. And there were, let me see, who was in Eric Flowers' draft? Because there were some people who could have been taken in that draft, 2015 draft. Let me see. Y'all drafted Eric Flowers where? Freaking 9th overall. So who did you not draft? You didn't draft Todd Gurley. You didn't draft a Melvin Gordon. You didn't draft a Marcus Peters. You didn't draft a Bud Dupree. Like, I'm going down this. You did draft Landon Collins. Good job there. But there were people. More importantly, Todd Gurley. You could have gotten Todd Gurley, and then you wouldn't be looking to get motherfucking Saquon Barkley this year, and you could have replaced Eli, because Eli ain't it. Which goes into another a little comment there where they kind of, Josina Anderson asked Odell, was Eli the problem? And Odell all but said yes. Like, he talked about Eli's lack of mobility, and he more so pushed it towards the whole play calling and scheming piece of it. But he was honest. I think he was as honest as he could have been without being too offensive. I do think that he aired out some dirty laundry that the franchise may not have wanted to be aired. But that's kind of part of it, man. You do these interviews, you put these microphones in these players' faces, and they're gonna say what they have to say. Now, what I don't understand is why the fuck Lil Wayne was in the goddamn interview. He promoted Carter 5 everywhere. Is he part of Odell's crew now? Wayne just sitting there just like co-signing and shit, like, yeah, nodding his head like, Wayne, what the hell do you know? I know you're a football fan, but hell, I thought you were a Packers fan, man. I thought you was rolling with A-Rod. You hanging out with OBJ. But it is what it is. So another thing that came from that, people were like, well, what's that going to do to the locker room? I want to believe that Odell has had these conversations with his teammates, his coaching staff, his quarterback before he had them publicly. I hope to God he did, because some of those things are damning of the organization, and that could be a big problem if these people are hearing this for the first time when he comes back to the locker room, especially since they have a bad record and they lost a close game. Graham Gano kicked a 63-yarder and it fucking split their fucking hearts open. But I don't think he's wrong, because he's a leader on his team, and we so often see leaders of franchises, when they're not happy with what's going on in-house, they use interviews to get their message across, so hopefully some change happens. Big Ben does it all the time. Brady does it. Aaron Rodgers did it last week. He volunteered some information in the post-game press conference that wasn't necessary at all. They had fucking won the damn game, but he wanted his displeasure to be known. So I think Odell chose that interview with Josina Anderson to do the same thing. Because, yeah, he doesn't run a lot of deep routes. He's more than capable. He can run the route tree as well as any receiver in the game. He can make highlight catches. He's an athletic specimen. So he wants those same opportunities. And I'm pretty sure he's in the meetings. Hey, coach, what the fuck? Like, give me these opportunities to do that stuff. And it's not happening. So, he wants to put that pressure on him to put the team in the best situation to win. And what gets lost here is, I think some people are gonna say he's calling these people out, but let's say he's holding these people accountable. He's publicly holding these people accountable, saying that this is our standard. and we're not meeting this standard, and we need to get to this standard in order to be good. And I mean, he's a great player, and then when you're a great player, I feel like the more touches you get, the better chance you give your team to win. And so him having that mindset is what makes him that freaking good, what makes him great. So that's why he said that. So if you got a problem with it, I understand, but get the fuck over it. Like, honestly, like, the man had an issue with his organization. He called him to the fucking carpet. Let's see if they fix it. Now, I think the one thing was when they asked him about, like, was he happy playing there? And he was like, he pretty much said, y'all, dog, nah, fuck this New York shit. I like LA. I'd rather play in warm weather. And I think that kind of just got fucking glossed over by everybody. But his nigga, not LA, this nigga Odell was like, nah, bro, I mean, this is straight, but you know what I mean? There are better places to play. I don't really care to talk about any more of the other games, I don't think. Let me just go back down the ticker to see if there's anything else that catches my attention. The Eagles are fucking 2-3 because they, we don't have any fun, blah, blah, blah. Or excuse me, like, we have all the fun, blah, 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 in New England. You know, I get it that you want to have fun, and I don't really have an issue with the whole having fun model as long as you're successful. And if you're okay just winning one Super Bowl, that's fine. But to publicly call out a franchise who epitomized the success in the NFL, who has put together a formula that probably will never be duplicated and has sustained long-term success better than any fucking dynasty we've ever seen, I don't think it's good for you to call them out after you win one ring. And you had a lot happen that helped you get there. Not going to diminish the ring or take away anything from it, but there was definitely a lot that went into them winning the ring. So, yeah, Eagles, get your shit together. I don't know if much else I want to talk about. I guess I'll close out with this right here. It was really great to see Eric Reid back on a football field because it's sad to know that someone caring about other people in their community, people who they may never meet, and putting their job and their life and their livelihood, yes, I say their livelihood, on the line for that's great. But it's even better to see that person get the opportunity to go back out there and do what they do best, and that's play football. And you know, he did take a knee. He protested during the national anthem, so obviously that sparks up the talks. And then when people asked him about it, he was like, yeah, I'm here, but Colin's at home with my kids right now, and he should be playing football. And I think these are conversations that don't need to go away, because some people try to marginalize it or minimize it to, well, it's football, they make millions of dollars. Look, yeah, I got that. But look, if you're valuable, and if you have a valuable set of skills and you are worth a certain dollar figure, you deserve to be compensated for that. And I think that's what gets missed so much, is that don't get into the football piece of it, right? It's a sport. Oh, they're millionaires. Look at it as somebody has a skill set and they're not getting the opportunity to utilize that skill set. And there are people who aren't as talented as that particular person utilizing their skill set to make money at the expense of an organization, but an organization is willing to do that because they don't like a certain thing about an individual. They don't like somebody who's standing up for the rights of people who aren't being heard. Someone who's standing up against injustice. I understand, like, firing bigots. If you don't want a bigot in your organization, an anti-Semite in your organization, I totally understand that. But somebody who wants equality, who's fighting for social justice, if you don't want someone like that in your organization, what the fuck does that say about you? What does that say about the NFL? What does it say about all 32 teams, especially the teams with terrible quarterbacks who won't bring Colin Kaepernick in? Well, it's going to bring too much controversy and noise. No, it's not. The man said he wasn't going to take a knee. Yeah, when he first gets there, he's going to take a bunch of Yeah, they're gonna ask him a bunch of questions. He's gonna do a couple of press conferences. But then after that, it's over. It's over. Like, the stories will run dry, especially if he's not playing. And then if he gets the opportunity to play, okay, yeah, the stories will pick back up. If he's playing poorly, I understand a coach being afraid to bench him or even play him because of what the backlash might be. But this is a fucking black eye on the NFL. It's really a black eye on America because we have so many people who have a problem with what he's doing. Like, don't tell me how to protest. That's one thing. And don't get me wrong. I do understand the owners not wanting to have him on their team because they don't want that negative attention. And believe it or not, yes, it is negative attention. It's sad to say, but there is negative attention that comes with what Colin Kaepernick and Eric Reid are doing. But some people don't want to deal with that, and I totally understand that, and that is their right. But that doesn't make it right. It's pretty fucked up. You got Blake Bortles starting games, and Colin Kaepernick's not even in the fucking league. Like, I thought the best players play, but obviously not. I mean, Dez Bryant is sitting at home right now. He's better than that trash that Dallas Cowboys are walking out there. He's better than that trash the fucking 49ers have on the fucking field. Most days, he's better than that trash that the Jets are bringing out there. He's better than that trash that the Bills have out there. But Dez can't play? Come on, man. We got these rookie quarterbacks not even completing 50% of their passes. You mean to tell me Kaepernick can't play in this league? Jimmy G just got paid $120 million. At one point, he was the highest paid quarterback in the league after, 5 starts in San Francisco, 7 total career starts. And he had similar numbers to Colin Kaepernick. Numbers were like similar. Damn near identical. But we believe in Jimmy Jesus, somebody who's shown himself to be hurt. The NFL should be ashamed of itself. But more importantly, every fucking owner, every fucking general manager, every fucking coach should be fucking ashamed of themselves. Because they say they want to win, but they don't. It's not just about winning. Don't tell me you care about winning if you don't care about winning. Tell me what you care about. So often people put on a front and they make themselves to be somebody who they want other people to see. And then knowing that people get disappointed when people let them down and they show their true colors. Somebody like, oh, he's not authentic. He ain't real. You ain't authentic. You ain't real either. But I challenge you to be a genuine, authentic person. I feel like if everybody just would be open and honest, and we will learn to accept honesty and not always have to move around with ulterior motives, I think we would be a better, more productive world. We wouldn't waste time kissing people's ass for no reason. No, it's like, hey, this is what I need. This is what I need from you. This is what you need from me. All right, bet. We can enter into an agreement because we can help one another. That's all. It ain't personal. Ain't no feelings got to be involved. I just need you to get somewhere. You need me to get somewhere. Let's get there, and then, all right, fuck it. It's over. But that's my approach to life. I'm not in the business of using people and just to get what the fuck I need. Or if I'm going to use you, I'm going to let you know, like, hey, bro, this is what I need from you. Like, be honest. Be upfront. But no, we got to hide behind our fake morality. We got to hide behind our fake religion. We got to hide behind our fake love for country. We got to hide behind all these fake values that we have, these fucking excuses that we use just because we're afraid to tell people how we truly feel about them. I'm sorry I got off on a rant, but that shit fucking bothers me. Like, just bothers me that all the excuses that come with the Colin Kaepernick thing, man. It's so fucking atrocious. Like, a guy was talking about it and talking about veterans, and God Almighty, at this point, bro, if you just bring up the term veterans and Colin Kaepernick in the same fucking sentence about disrespect for the flag, kiss my ass. Every American is entitled to their understanding, their belief, their love for the flag as anyone else. Being a service member, being a public servant does not make that flag mean anything any more or less to you than it does Tom, Dick, or fucking Harry. As an American citizen, that flag is the symbol of your country. So whatever the fuck your country means to you, that's what the fuck the flag means to you. And nobody else gets to say what that means to each individual person. So when you people come out here, you try to make these large generalizations. You shouldn't make generalizations anyways. But especially on topics like this, no, speak for your fucking self. Alright? Put the fucking bottle down and put your fucking hood on and come out of the fucking woods with a burning cross in your goddamn hand and tell me who the fuck you really are. That's what I want. Don't smile in my face. All the time you want to take my place, you backstabber. Backstabbers. No, motherfucker. Be who the fuck you are. So, from this, fuck Conor McGregor, because I lost money because of him. Shout out to Cousin Sal. He helped me with some good bets. Fuck the Falcons, because we trash this year. Our defense is terrible. Shout out to Eric Reed for continuing to bring awareness and keep these conversations going. And fuck all of you. Fuck all of you who don't support people trying to make a positive change in the world. You are the true problem. Big baby hat.